Hey guys, it's James here again. Welcome back to another video. I hope you're well and had a great weekend. Again, thank you so much for the response to my first 3 videos. Honestly, it means the world. I can't believe I've just hit 30 subscribers this afternoon, and I'm shocked. I only thought I'd hit about 10 by now, so thank you so much. Anyway, let's get straight into this video. Okay, so following on from how well the video went down on atomic habits, I thought I'd go more and discuss about some of the subjects of that video, specifically talking about environment design and friction and how these can contribute to us being both more productive and forming new habits easier. To take the words from the book itself, what James Clear talks about, he says that environment design is the thing that shapes human behaviour the most, and that's something that I couldn't agree with more, as we'll go into in this video. Okay, so what a lot of people say about when it comes to both productivity and building new habits is that, like, oh yes, I need to be more motivated to do this, I need to watch a motivational video, I need something to get me going. But really, as Jeff Howden talks about in his book, The Motivation Myth, you don't really need to have motivation in the first place to get things started. What you really need is action. And then the action will then lead to success, which then will motivate you more to continue that action, which in the long term, talking about the subject of habits, will then get you to build a habit. So to get that action in the first place, what we can do is to design our environment in our favour so that we can lead ourselves to do these actions, which then leads to the success, which then leads us to be motivated more. So let's talk about how we can make our environment a lot more efficient with regards to taking action. Okay, so as I spoke about in the Atomic Habits video, friction is one of the most powerful forces out there, and if we can harness it in the right way, we can use it extremely effectively for both the building of good habits and the breaking of bad habits. So if we're wanting to build a good new habit, what we want to do is we want to reduce the amount of friction that there is in our environment, and if we're wanting to break a bad habit, we want to create more friction in our environment. As Ali Abdaal said, the guy who actually inspired me to start my channel and get going, friction is the most powerful force in the universe. So thinking of that in mind, if we can design our environment in such a way where we're reducing the amount of friction there is for the habits we want to form, and then we reduce the amount of friction in our environment for the habits that we want to break, I think we can be extremely effective and then become more productive and then build habits in the long term. So we'll be creating more action in our lives, which then leads to success, which leads to motivation, as I spoke about earlier, which then leads to us building habits in the long term and continue on with the right actions in our life. So now let's go and talk about some practical examples of this in action, and let's go. Okay, so one great example of how we can be more productive and more efficient with the use of friction in environment design is with regards to sleep. So if you ask anyone who knows me, I've been an extremely bad sleeper over the years. Like, if I've not got something to get up for in the morning, I will not get up in the morning. Well, before I formed a good routine around it, I'd be going to bed. In lockdown specifically, my dad, he hated me. Well, he didn't hate me, but he just hated my routine at the time. I was in a point of going to bed at 4, 5, 6 in the morning, not waking up till 3 in the afternoon, which is stupid, but it was because of one simple reason. I had my phone on all night. I'd be scrolling Instagram, I'd be scrolling YouTube, watching videos and keeping my mind active. So, thinking of this in mind, what I could have done, which is what I do now, when I go to bed, when I get into the room, I set my alarm off and I put it on the other side of my room. So that way, it stops me, it breaks that habit, and it increases the friction for me having to get out of bed and go back on my phone and use it when I'm wanting to go to sleep. I get in bed and I've got 2 options. I can either read my Kindle, as I'll say to you about in a minute, or just go to sleep. And then obviously that leads me to getting to bed earlier, having better quality sleep because my mind's less active. And then in the morning, when my alarm actually goes off, I'm going to have to get out of bed and go across the room and physically turn the alarm off. So it's actually forcing me out of bed in the morning. So that's something that I use in my everyday life now, and it's extremely effective. So that is one example of how we can increase friction with regards to stopping using the phone at night and going to sleep. And then also reducing friction for getting out of bed in the morning, so I've got to physically get out of bed to go and turn the alarm off. And then once you're out of bed, the hard part's done, you can then get on with your day. So now let's go and look at another example. Okay, so another example of how I can design our environment to reduce friction with habits is what we want to do is keep things close to us, what we're actually wanting to do. So that way it reduces the friction to go, oh, I've got to go to the other side of the room and pick up my Kindle. Or if you're wanting to learn to play the piano, well, not the piano because you can't move the piano, but I don't know, like the trumpet or the guitar. Like, you want to have things close to you so that you've then got less friction with regards to starting it. So, talking about my Kindle, as I just said, I keep my Kindle next door to me on my bedside table every night. So when I get in bed, as I said, I've got the option to either read my books or go to sleep. And more often than not, I'll get in bed, I'll read my books until I start feeling sleepy, or I get to convenient stopping points at the end of the chapter, and then I'll turn it off. So that's really helped me to build the habit of reading over time. So I'll get in bed, and that's my time of the day. I get in bed, read my book for a bit, and then I'll get off to sleep. And where my mind's less active, so I'm not looking at blue light, and I'm not, watching YouTube videos, I can then doze off a little bit easier, and I've not got my phone kicking my mind into overdrive. So yeah, that's another example. Let's go into the last one. So I'm sure one of the things that we've all found with regards to being productive is the fact that when we're at work, we are constantly always on our phones. Or we're not really supposed to be, but we all do. So how are we going to combat this? So what I do when I come to work, I just do one simple thing. I turn it off. I leave it in the other side of the room, or I leave it in my car, because people need to contact me about work. I've got my landline, and I've got my work phone. So if they're not calling me on that, I probably don't need to talk to them during the day until it gets to the evening. So it's a very simple way of doing things. What I'd recommend, when you get to work, just turn your phone off. I guarantee you, the first time you do it, it will feel weird for the first few hours, but then you will honestly feel the difference, and you'll get so much more done. And yeah, I hope you guys find that one helpful. Okay, so that is how we can be a lot more productive by designing our environment and making use of friction. That is the key message of this video. Design our environment in the right way to reduce friction and increase friction in the right areas, and trust me, you won't need any apps on your phone to help you be more productive. That's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching another video of mine again. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you guys again on Sunday for another video. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video if you've enjoyed it, comment any thoughts that you have or anything you want to see me do in the future, and I'll see you guys on Sunday. Take care, guys.